He shared anecdotes of your progress, never suspecting that you were mine. Your sophomore year, I hired a college student, a young man of legal age, but slight enough to pass for 17. You knew him as David from the neighboring county. Under my direction, he befriended you, prodded you toward swimming and away from the fraught cliche of basketball. He ferried me printouts of your correspondence, revealing your vernacular speech, the slant of your smile in cell phone pictures. Hearing this now, you might feel manipulated, violated even, but I am almost certain that my determination to shape and groom, my attempts and failures to protect aren't terribly different from those of any other parent. Everyone has an origin story, and this is yours. You began a thought fully formed and sprung from my head. No, you were more like a determined line of questions, marching all together toward a momentous thrashing. It was 1985, years before you were born, and I'd just come to work here on this campus. Mother died at the start of fall semester, her body inundated with cancer, undiagnosed until she passed. Still numb, I traveled south to bury her, missing the initiation of my own first classes, returning as promptly as I could. I was only away for a week and a day. Still, a cold snap had scattered leaves onto the great lawn. My first afternoon back, I walked over to my office and was straightening the objects on my desk, my shirt sleeves rolled up, my back to the door. A man walked in, and he startled when I turned to face him, so I startled too. He was, I learned a few minutes later, a senior colleague from my own department, history. He'd been away on sabbatical and had come to my office to welcome me. "Sorry," he said. "I'm looking for Professor Adams. Do you know where I can find him, buddy?" Well, I realized what was happening a moment before he did and forced myself to laugh, to try to put him at ease, though I fear my laughter came out as a strangled sound. You see, he'd mistaken me for one of the evening janitors. But then the next week, I stood before all of my bright young students. For the first time in a long time, I felt, if not settled, then at least situated. Soon afterward, in a morning seminar, I remember feeling hopeful as I collected an early set of in-class writings, our topic 19th century thinkers. I discovered a hand-drawn cartoon among the shuffle, no name in the corner, passed in on purpose or by accident, it was hard to tell which. It was nothing, really, just a single frame of itchy graphite titled Irony. Within its borders, a history professor leaned over a lectern looking quite like me, same jacket, same bow tie, except with something primitive about his face. A thought bubble hovered over the room of students. Darwin taught to men by an ape. It's nothing, I told myself, again, walking back to my apartment that evening, though in truth, I felt tired. What does it matter? I remember thinking. What does it matter how much I achieve or how clearly I speak or how carefully I conduct myself if the brutal misjudgments remain regardless? What if even here they cannot bring themselves to see me and instead see something oblique reflected where I thought I stood? Mother always told me, work hard, Cornelius, work twice as hard and you can have something. But there I was, a grown man wondering what it was I could have and what would forever be withheld. What I needed, it occurred to me then, was to watch another man's life unfold, a black boy, not unlike me, but better than me. An African-American who was otherwise equivalent to those broods of average American Caucasian males who scudded through my classrooms. A.C.